Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin, and I'm happy to meet you all. Today, I'm sitting with your channel owner to engage in the finale of his Meet the Guru series. Today, I'm joined by the Speedroid Guru, also known as Seraphim or NeoSeraphi. Seraphi, how have you been?
Hey, Kevin, I've been doing very well. Thank you for agreeing to take part in this.
It's an absolute honor on my end. Thank you for coming to me in the first place. So, Seraphi, before we had the Speedroid Guru, we had NeoSeraphi. Tell us a little bit about you and how you came to join the guild.
Sure, it's a story that you know very well. So I never really enjoyed Reddit all that much. I never really got the idea of Reddit, but I did like Duel Links, and so I played Duel Links a lot last year, 2022, in the early part of 2022. In preparation for Master Duel, I started getting a little bit more serious because I heard Master Duel was coming out. But what actually happened, what actually made me start engaging with the subreddit, the Duel Links subreddit more, is I stopped playing Duel Links because I got really invested in Wizard 101, which is an MMO from my childhood that I found out was still going. I was just like, oh my gosh. I like MMOs, but I've always thought that MMOs were kind of really hard to play because I'm not really a PC gamer. But Wizard 101 is an MMO that's turn-based, which is really interesting, and that made it really easy for me to keep up with. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go beat this game because I haven't beat it before. So I created a brand new account and I played through all of the worlds and raised a character up to level 150, and I did basically nothing else but play Wizard 101 for like 6 months straight. And at that time, like I was just super invested in all the builds and all the spells, and I enjoyed talking about the game, so I just started engaging with the Wizard 101 subreddit. And and at that point, like my account was very active. So after I beat the game, I didn't have much else to do. I went back to Duel Links, and then I started posting on the Duel Links subreddit more. And my I couldn't find my old login for my old NeoSeraphi account, so I created I just went on logged in through Google Gmail, and it assigned me a random username, which was Automatic Archer and a bunch of numbers.
Mhm.
And um, at that time, this was like October of 2022, so late 2022. Mechlord was posting around, and he hadn't really established a big YouTube channel yet, so he was mostly posting visual guides. And I thought, oh, these are cool. So I decided to post a new visual guide for a skill that came out that I really liked, which was the Shark Rising skill. Um, I posted on my Automatic Archer account a Shark Rising deck guide, and the Cyber Dragon Guru responded to this post, and he's like, "Hey, this is a really cool idea. Keep up the good work." And I think I'd posted like two other visual guides by that point. Um, I just said, "Yeah, just call me the Shark Guru." And then you messaged me privately, which I wasn't expecting. You were just like, "Hey, are you serious about being a guru?" And I was just like, "I mean, yeah, what do I have to do?" And you're just like, "Oh, here's our Discord link. Join and follow the rules for the applying." And I joined and I applied and I was immediately rejected because there was a rule for you had to be in the Discord server for a month, which Kevin didn't tell me about. So I stuck around. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any reason not to stick around. So I just kind of chilled out. I posted a lot about sharks. I tried to King of Games using the Shark Rising skill. I got to like Legend 3, which was as high as I had climbed in a while, because obviously I took a huge break from Duel Links to play Wizard 101. And then I just started doing other stuff. And that's the origin story.
That is quite the origin, yeah. And as you were answering that, you actually answered part of my next question, which was why did you become a guru and why specifically the Speedroid Guru?
Sure, I can answer that. So I became a guru because I felt like the Discord was kind of dying. um, not to throw shade on any of my colleagues, but there wasn't a lot of effort being put in. Really, if you look at the other channels, they're all kind of dead. And I understand that it's kind of hard to make content for a deck that isn't getting a lot of support, like Black Wings. But when I became a guru, I made sure to try and circumvent that. That was the origin for Wildcard Wednesdays. Wildcard Wednesdays was specifically because I didn't have a lot of Speedroid content to post, but I wanted people to have a reason to come to the racetrack. So I started posting about any kind of deck that I thought could be used with Speedroids, because Speedroids didn't lock you into Speedroids, they locked you into Wind Monsters. Um, so yeah, I saw that the Discord was drying up. I really liked the people there, but I didn't know too much about the gurus, and I thought, okay, well, let me try and kind of spice things up a bit. And so I put in an application, and the reason for the application was because Yugo was coming out. As far as why I like Speedroids, um, Speedroids were released, like the full power Speedroid list was, I think, one of the first decks that got released in a new box in Master Duel. It came out, like, I think in March or April after Master Duel came out. I was really into Master Duel when it first came out. There were a lot of Speedroid players who were enjoying it, and I saw a video on YouTube called How to Go Fast with Speedroids, which was fantastically edited. And the fact that it was so well edited made me watch it multiple times. And I watched it like 3 or 4 times. I was just like, you know what, I could do this. And so I bought the deck. It was very cheap. That's the other thing. Shout out to the TG Guru because it was cheap. But the I don't think there's like any main deck ultra rare Speedroid monsters. Um, and you don't really need that many hand traps. So it was a bunch of super rares and rares in the main deck, and then of course there were quite a few ultra rares in the extra deck, but that's the same for every Master Duel deck. So the deck was cheap, it was easy to build. I was already kind of like on a synchro kick because I was playing Sword Soul Tenyi, and I started playing Speedroids, and I just started like grinding, memorizing all the combos, having a lot of fun with it.
So would you say that Speedroids are tier 1?
No.
No.
No, I don't think Speedroids are tier 1. When they first came out in Master Duel, they were a very interesting deck and very powerful, but the problem with Speedroids, which is the problem with a lot of synchro decks, is they require too many cards from your hand. Um, you need Terror Top, you need Takatomborg, you need probably Car Turbo. A lot of times you can use Win the Wind Channeler to search, or Speedroid Scratch to search, but that involves discarding another card, so you're giving up 2 cards to draw one. There are And what that results in is it means that you don't have enough room left in your hand for hand traps. So a lot of times there's not really any space in the deck to run good hand traps and also have consistency. Droll
Mhm.
is good. Max C can probably work, and Ash is going to be there, but I never really found room in a Speedroid deck for cards like Nibiru the Primal Being, Ghost Ogre, or Infinite Impermanence or Effect Veiler or DD Crow. You know, good staples that allow you to interact with your opponent in a variety of ways on their first turn. Um,
Right.
so Speedroids are pretty decent going first. If you can pull off the full Speedroid combo, you end up with 2 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragons and Baron de Fleur, and then maybe like 2 cards in your hand. One of them could be a hand trap, but it's and that's an Omni Negate and 2 Monster Negates that all destroy, while also making sure that you never lose a battle against high level monsters. But
Mhm.
it's not enough. Um, Not for tier 1 status. I don't even think Speedroids are tier 3 in Master Duel. Just because every deck can do the bare minimum of putting out a bunch of negates or destroying the
Right.
field and going face, but they can do so with fewer cards in their hand, which means they have more room for hand traps. So that's kind of the unfortunate
So
rule of Master Duel. Go ahead.
right. So sorry. So for you, the cost is too heavy for the end board.
Yes. Well, I mean, um, it's if you get super lucky, there's a 1.5 card combo that can get you to the end board. But that doesn't change the fact that the deck is inconsistent without that combo, and therefore, even if you have 3 cards left in your hand, the likelihood just from this, how you build your deck, that more than one of those cards will be a hand trap is very low. And that's the difference, right? Like speedroids are powerful. I'm not saying speedroids aren't powerful, but when you're talking about a tier list, it's comparative, not absolute. In terms of absolute power, I would say speedroids is probably in the top 50 of decks.
Mhm.
But in terms of relative power, that's 49 other decks that are beating it. So yeah,
Right. Well, let's pivot away from the Yu-Gi-Oh talk for a minute and let's talk about your YouTube channel.
sure.
I consider your YouTube channel to have improved significantly in content and quality. Now, who inspires you to upload, and what is one thing you would like to accomplish within the next year?
Actually, the reason why I created my YouTube channel was because of you. It was because I saw your Malefic gameplay video, and I thought that it was really cool. I like aggressive, powerful monsters. Um, that's always been a thing that I've really enjoyed about Yu-Gi-Oh! Just hit King of Games with Blue Eyes White Dragon. So I took your list and I ran it longer than you did, and I ended up hitting King of Games in I think December of 2022 with
And your second cog, right?
that was my second cog ever. Yes, with Malefic, um, and your video was really well edited, and I realized that it was an inspiration to me. I thought, okay, well uh, this was a helpful video. This helped me reach new potential with a deck that I thought that I had written off as not even worth playing. Um, and it was cool. It was anime. It felt nostalgic, and I thought, okay, you know what? I like Kevin's content, but he doesn't make it anymore. And then I started watching Cly's content, and his content kind of dispersed too. And so I thought, it's sad that all these people that I like aren't making too many videos anymore. And I just thought, well, I'll make my own videos then.
Hmm.
Kind of
That
the same thought of becoming a guru. It was just like, if I can't, if I have a problem with the way that people are doing things, or if I think people aren't doing enough, I'll just do it myself.
right. Be the change you wish to see in the world. That's correct. Now, that could be setting up a three-way collab in the future. Clyde, please respond. Please respond. Please respond. Please.
Let me answer the second part of the question. You said that what do I hope to accomplish in the future?
Yes.
Let's see.
Within the next year.
Within the next year, um, I would like to get to the point where I can stream big events and have people watch. So, like, you know, if I have a decent number of subscribers and people are willing to watch at certain times of the day, I might start streaming more. Um, put up VODs on my channel of like consistent gameplay with with commentary and interaction with the chat. Really, that's what I want more than anything. Is I want people to comment. I want people to reply to my community posts. I want people to show up on my streams and comments. If I do premieres, I want people. I just want interaction. Like, I just want people to talk back to me when I'm putting all this stuff out.
Right. I understand. Okay. Well, that's actually a really positive goal. I'm sure you're going to be able to meet there. Now, following up on activity, you have a strong presence within the Discord and the Reddit. What motivates you to be as active and helpful in not just Guild of Gurus, but just the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community in general?
Hey, you guys are great. People that I got to know in the Discord themselves, uh, they are people that I like, that I enjoy talking to, and when they respond positively to my content, it just motivates me to push harder.
So, would you consider yourself having like a rival in the Discord
A rival.
in terms of maybe content or activity?
No, I mean, I could joke that it's Mechlord, but there's no comparison. Because Mechlord is far more popular and he puts out a lot more content than I do. But as far as like someone who's more on my level, not really. I post a lot more than any of the other gurus. I post a lot more than a lot of other people on the subreddit. Although lately, unfortunately, a lot of my subreddit posts have been just linking to my videos, um,
Mhm.
which there has been a fall like a drop off in the like write ups and visual guides that I started doing when I first joined the subreddit, which I regret, but it's the cost of trying to build my channel.
Right. No, and I would say that while you are a guru, I would say definitely focus on your channel and your content primarily before the guru stuff. Now, considering your first King of Games was with Gaia and your second were Malefics, how do you feel about cogging with meta compared to non-meta decks? And do you think there is a viable skill difference between them?
Wow, I didn't expect you to remember that I cogged with Gaia. Okay, fair enough. How do I feel about cogging with meta versus non-meta? I don't like cogging with meta decks. I've done it. I think in May. I didn't have the time to build Speedroids because they came out like on the 26th. I think I cogged like the day before the box dropped. Um, but I was trying to play. I think I was trying to play Phantom Knights in May, and Phantom Knights were like falling off at that point. They had been pretty strong beforehand, but when Orcus came out, people started running Artifact Lancia, and that
Right.
really pushed Phantom Knights out of the meta. But I tried to play Phantom Knights, and I wasn't doing very well with the deck. And then I switched over to Raging Pendulum. Like I was just sick and tired of getting beaten by Raging Pendulum. So I switched over
Would
to
you say
Raging.
you were raging?
I was raging. I was 100% raging. I switched over to Raging Pendulum and I just killed everybody. And I shot up to Cog in like 2 days.
Understandable.
Do I think there's a skill difference between playing meta and playing non-meta decks? Um, so in
In
dual,
cogging, in terms of cogging,
yeah. So we're talking about dual links, not the TCG or
Duel
Master
Links.
Duel. So
Right, right,
the
right.
difference between cogging with meta and non-meta is that a lot of times non-meta decks rely extensively on staples. To make up for the fact that either the skills aren't as good or their monster negates aren't as prevalent, they will play cards like Book of Moon and Crackdown more frequently. And
Mhm,
I dislike that. I actually I actually really don't like playing back row, and I really don't like playing cards outside my archetype. It bothers me. The entire reason I play Duel Links is because I like the anime aspect. I like to play decks that have as few back row as possible and can get away with it. Like uh, Speedroids, because they have a monster negate and a board wipe without using their normal summon, they do very well. Um, it's bricky because you have to run so many monsters, but um, I usually get away with 3 Forbidden Lances and 3 Book of Moons. And
mhm.
Forbidden Lance I don't really consider to be back row, it's anti-back row. So that's just 3 Book of Moons, which basically buys me time when I go first. And I just cogged with when I cogged with Blue Eyes, I didn't have any back row at all. Like it was Monster Reborn and 3 Melodies, and that was it.
What is one controversial take you have on any Yu-Gi-Oh format?
Ooh, okay. My controversial take, besides the one that everyone knows, which is that I want the TCG to unban Auroradon. But my
Please go
contro
touch grass.
my controversial take is I don't think Max C is a problem.
Please go touch
No,
grass.
no, 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 listen.
Please.
Hear me out. Hear me out. So Max C is an interesting card because it allows you to say, okay,
Interesting
how
card.
how deep do you want to go into your combo? Because if you want to build a board that has 8 negates on it, cool. Now I have more cards that I can use to bait your negates and get through your disruption. But at the same time, even if I have all these extra cards in my hand, I have to make decisions. I have to, keep track of all my resources, the order that I'm playing cards in, and I still only have one normal summon. So I don't actually think that drawing 12 cards on you when you're going second is that big of a deal because going first is so powerful.
I, I'm gonna. Okay. So when you're drawing all these cards, you maximize your chances of drawing the out, one could say, as in Forbidden Droplet or Dark Ruler No More, and that just completely bypasses any of your 8 negates on the other person's board. I feel like me personally, and of course you're entitled to your opinion as a controversial take, Maxi is just an uninteractive card that forces you to either end your turn or summon your board and give your opponent everything they need to break it anyway.
Okay, but hold on. You want to talk about ending your turn? We have Droll and Lockbird, and no one complains about Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird literally will cause you to just not be able to play the game.
Well, Droll and Lockbird makes it so you can't draw, whereas Maxi, you're giving your opponent way more resources than.
But you have control over the number of resources they get.
Not really when you're forced to end your turn like that.
No,
You're
because
you're you're you're
you can just
Mhm,
you see Maxi, right? Then you can
mhm.
choose. Okay, well I'll summon two more times, and I'll just make Baguska. Or you can say, okay, well maybe I need to get one negate out, and I can give him two more draws or one more draw. Um, like you're actively making a decision. I'm not saying that it's smart for people
Mhm,
to play their whole turn under Max C. But the
mhm.
question of how much do I play under Max C is a big one. And I don't think the correct answer anytime is to just end your turn. I think that's absolutely the wrong way to react to Max C. The correct way to react to Max C is taking a chance, making a decision on how many cards you can summon to give yourself a board that can survive while minimizing the number of summons that you play.
Well, we'll let the viewers decide this one. Viewers and fans, comment down below if you think Maxi is a fair and interactive card or if it should stay banned.
This is not fair. I have an English speaking audience. All right.
Well, all right, I have two more questions, Serafi.
Go
We're
ahead.
nearing the end. Now, this one's a little bit more controversial. Well, not really, but depending on how people take it. Which of your Meet the Gurus episodes have you enjoyed recording the most, and why is it mine?
Oh, the Meet the Guru video that I enjoyed recording the most was the Harmac video with Meet the Fluffle Guru because he referred to his deck as a library,
Hmm.
and so I had to, and he was going off. Like I just let him answer the question. He just kept coming back and saying the top card of your library. He was talking about Toy Vendor, which is a card that discard that reveals the top card of your deck, and then you, if it's a Fluffle, you get to special summon it. And so I just went back and I just started like editing a bunch of music. Like the enjoyable thing for me is when I get to just trash you guys with memes on the screen. Uh,
Yeah.
your video was really funny. All the Meet the Guru videos were good. I enjoyed every single one of them, but I'm probably in the minority there because obviously I was the one who was recording. Definitely my probably lowest performing content on the channel though because it has a niche audience.
What would you say has been your least enjoyable recording?
Ooh, that would be Duke, Abyss Actor Guru. Just because he didn't have a whole lot to say. He's kind of camera shy, and he is self conscious about the audio, um, which is why we worked out something. Because he's my best friend in the in the guild of gurus. I definitely wanted him to be part of my channel, so I approached him afterwards because I saw he was so uncomfortable and he didn't talk that much, and I was just like, well, if you don't want to do podcasts, then let's do the progression playoff series where you don't have to talk at all except when we're dueling. He's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. So
Mhm.
um, so we kind of adapted that. But yeah, no, that was definitely. I mean, he gave me basically nothing to work with.
Gotcha. Well, it's great that you guys were able to figure something out with your progression series. So, final question. Which guru or gurus would you like to shout out?
Everyone else who's watching this video might as well skip to the end because this is going to be a segment here. I gotta shout out everybody. Goldmine, definitely the Galaxy Eyes Guru, Goldmine. I really appreciate you always being around, not only for recording podcasts, but also for the events that I sponsored in the Guild of Gurus. You made sure to show up for the stream where we were covering the Rush Duel announcement. You showed up for the stream where I was streaming a bunch of Sevens content in preparation for the World Drop. You've been on more of my podcasts than anyone else. Can't thank you enough for always being around. Chrome, the Gravekeeper Guru. I really appreciate all of the contributions you make to my channel and to me as a guru. You're always positive, always trying to look out for me, and your graphic design is fantastic. And I hope that you succeed as an architect. Cly, Notorious Cly, Notorious Yu-Gi-Oh, the Resonator Guru. I really appreciate your content. You are an inspiration to everyone else. I'm gonna probably build the Red Dragon Archfiend deck that you have posted on your channel and use it for TCG purposes because I really like it. Prodigy, the Battle and Boxer Guru. Shame that you decided not to participate in the Meet the Gurus series, but we'll make sure that you're included here. You definitely try your best, and you have a lot of energy for the guild, which we all really appreciate. We try to keep up with you. Kairu, a brand new guru. Glad to see that we have another content creator who makes content pretty regularly. You and I can do our best to try and promote the guild on YouTube and maybe expand our influence a little bit there. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Kevin, of course, yourself. Uh, Thank you very much for agreeing to do this. I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel without you, and I feel like it's been a success so far, mostly because I've done some of the things that I've seen you do. And I can't wait for your stop motion to come through and the rest of us to be able to watch all your cool Transformer stuff. Harmac, uh, Harmax dropped everything he had to come and help me with Jeopardy and with a few other things. Um, he's been around. He's been struggling a little bit lately, but we're all here for him, and I just want him to know that I've got his back, and if he needs anything, he can always reach out. Sharp. Sharp is probably the main reason I ever applied to be a guru. Um, Hero City is probably the most fun guru channel on the guild. Sharp's always posting content, and he's always interacting with his chat. He's always super positive. He's our hype man. And if you haven't been to the Hero City channel yet, definitely stop by. You'll see tons of GIFs, tons of Stratos emotes. He interacts with literally everybody. Arcady, of course. Arcady, thank you very much for finally agreeing to sit down for an interview. I think it was a success. And, Arcady's been kind of losing faith lately. It's been sad to see, but I know that he will pick things back up. He always does. And none of us would be here without him. So just know, Arcady, that, you know, if you feel like things aren't going so well, all you have to do is work harder and push the rest of us to work just as hard as you do. Shout out to Mill. Mill, I don't know you that well yet, but we're definitely going to change that. And I look forward to playing some high level, full power games with you whenever my Speedroid support drops. It's coming, I promise. Um, Shout out to the man. Thank you very much for giving me access to the custom guru ban list so that I could keep up with it. I do have to update that now that we have the new ban list drops, but I'm going to keep up with that and make sure that our tournament scene always has a good custom ban list that people can use. Our tournaments have been kind of slow lately, but we're working on getting them back up and running. So if you're interested in playing in a tournament, join our Discord. They're all free and they're all the time, both MD and DL. Um, Shout outs to Crow, of course. We're currently in the recording room, which is a channel that I own because basically the staff voice chat, I guess, Crow was annoyed that he couldn't use it for Warhammer anymore because I was always in there. So now I got a spot where I can talk to the other gurus, record podcasts and interviews all I want. That was a nice thought, nice gesture, which I didn't ask for. So really nice that Crow was looking out for me. Um, Shout out to Shuriken, Shuriken, who I reached out to when I wanted to start my YouTube channel. He told me about DaVinci Resolve. He told me about how I could edit. He is probably the best audio and visual editor on in the guild, and I strive to be more like him with every video that I do. Not quite ready to try any of the crazy stuff that he does yet, but I'll figure it out. And last but not least, shout out to Duke, good friend of mine, always positive, always happy. Um, you know, and he became a guru right before I did. The two of us were always talking in DMs about, everything. And I talked to him more than anyone else on the channel, or in the Discord, but no one can see it because we're just, so close at this point that we just kind of talk. And that's everybody.
And we have reached the end. Well, Serafi, that has concluded our interview at this time. Do you have any additional information that you'd like to your viewers to know?
Every time that I start a video, I say, "My name is Serafi, and I'm happy to meet you." And I decided to make it official with this video. So I hope the rest of you have gotten a chance to know me a little bit better, and I look forward to all of you keeping up with my content moving forward. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me, Serafi. Everyone, this has been the Speedroid Guru. His chat's name is The Racetrack in the Guild of Gurus Discord. Link to that down below. Make sure you subscribe to NeoSeraphi on YouTube for more amazing content. And this has been Kevin, and I've been thrilled to have you all with me.